Now, the last lesson, we were talking about this question. Okay, let me start quickly then. Here, given that, you see the screen, right? Given that AB is 4, AB is 4. Actually, AB is 4, it says, but AB isn't 4 here, right? Tangent B is 4 over 3. Let me use this information. Tangent means opposite, which is, I can say 4K, and adjacent 3K. So this is 4K, and this is, I do not need this information, 3K. Just I am using this information. Even this is not important for me. Tangent means opposite over adjacent. So tangent means opposite over adjacent. So I can say that by looking this one, since this is right triangle, 3K, 4K, directly I remember the 5K. And then question is sine of B. Sine of B is opposite of B divided by hypotenuse, which means 4K divided by 5K, plus cosine of B, which is 3K divided by hypotenuse 5K. So it will be 7K divided by 5K. K and K simplify. It will be 7 over 5. That's it. If you wish, you can use the calculator and you can write as a decimal number, which will be 1.4. We solved the question. Now, in this question, it says that sine of x is 0.25. So sine of x 0.25 means it is 25 over 100. It means, right? Yes or no? I think yes, it's clear. And if I simplify this, it will be 1 over 4. So when I look at here sine of x, when I look at here sine of x is equal to 3 over BC. And my question is find BC. So in this way, what will be BC in this case? BC will be 3 over sine of x. And then BC is equal to 3 over sine of x. I just said 1 over 4. And the result will be 3 times 4 over 1, which is 12. So we solved the question. So I'm not going to ask, did you understand or not? Just tell me whenever you do not understand even each step, specific steps. Just tell me, teacher, I didn't understand, so I can continue to explaining one more time. I can continue to explain one more time. Now, question number 8, if that's clear. Now, the question number 8 says that I'm going a little bit quickly, okay? But you can stop me. You can tell me, teacher, go a little bit slowly. Tangent B is given. So tangent B is given as 2.4, which means that 24 over 10, which means that if I simplify by 2, 12 over 5. But do not forget, this is a ratio. Even you can say this is 12K over 5K. Okay. And then let me read the question. It says that ABC is similar to the M and O. ABC similar to M and O. If two triangles are similar, means corresponding sides and angles, okay? Corresponding sides are proportional and corresponding angles are congruent. Angles are congruent, sides are proportional. So by using this information, tangent means opposite over adjacent. So tangent B here, which is opposite over adjacent, it is 12 over 5. So if I say this is 12, even 12K, if I say this is 5, do you remember the spatial triangle 5, 12, 17? There is a spatial triangle 5K, 12K, 17K. So BC will be 17. To be sure, what can we do? We can use our calculator. It will be 5 squared plus 12 squared, which will be 169, and I take square root, it is equal to, oops, calculation mistake, it is 17 or 13? It is 13.
13, sir.
It's 13, sorry, it's 13. It's good to check it. It is 13, but let me show you again one more time. So even in the examination, if you are not 100% sure, or if you are sure, you can use calculator. So 5 squared plus 12 squared, it will be 169, and root 169, I know that it's 13. It's good. Now what am I going to do? It says that find cosine of n. Where is n here? I just want to ask you that if these two triangles are similar to each other, 90 degrees going to up, 90 degrees going to up, and from B to C, from N to O, can I say that these angle and these angle are congruent since they are similar? The question says they are similar. Since these two triangles are similar, we must have congruent angles. So this angle is congruent to this angle. And then I can easily say that cosine of n is equal to this one. I mean, if this is 30 degrees, this is also 30 degrees. So by looking this one, I can say that cosine of n is equal to cosine of b. So what is cosine of b? It's adjacent divided by hypotenuse. So 5 over 13 will be here, also 5 over 13. So it could be even here 10 over 26, 15 over 39. I mean, like a 5k over 13k, but k and k, when you simplify, it will be 5 over 13. I mean, whenever you have angle is 30 degrees, so sine 30 is everywhere 1 over 2. So here I have one angle alpha. So I said that since the triangles are similar, this must be congruent, same. If this is alpha, calculating here cosine, same as calculating here cosine. Then 5 over 13, so it is being the solution. Now question 19, we have one famous rule that if we have complementary angle, what is complementary angle? X plus y is 90 degrees. So in trigonometry, when we use a complementary angle, sine of x is equal to cosine of 90 minus x, cofunctions. Cosine of x is equal to sine of 90 minus x, or tangent of x is equal to cotangent of 90 minus x, and so on. So what am I going to do then? What am I going to do? Cosine of something is equal to something else. So it's clear, cosine of 32, by using this rule, cosine of x is equal to sine of 90 minus x. So sine of 90 minus x. So this is equal to sine of 58, 90 minus 32, 58. Now, this is now sine of 58, but in my question, this is sine of 5m minus 12. So they must be equal to each other. And then 5m is equal to 70, if you take the negative 12 other side, and m is equal to 70 divided by 5, which is 751, and it will be 25, 14. So the result is m is 14. The question is find the m. So we found the Osame says, Mr. Why do you write K? Do we write in the SAT? No, you don't need. Okay, since K and K will be simplified. I just explained something. It's a ratio. You don't need. Just you should know that, I mean, you know, you may think this one. Teacher, here, this triangle is small, this triangle is big triangle. So how could it be this is 5 over 13? This is not 5 over 13. This is maybe 10 over 26, maybe 15 over 39. But at the end, when you simplify the common factor, like 5k, 13k, k and k goes, so 5 over 13, you will get it. For that reason, I said. So simply, you don't need to say k. But you should understand the logic behind what is k. It's similarity. Now the question says that what is cosine of C? Similar question we saw before. Let's calculate this length. What is this length? You know, -3, 5 means this is 5. So that means this is 5 units. And then here, x is 12. Y is -3 means this is -3. It means this is as a length 3 units. And then C is 12 means this part is 12. And then -3, 5 means this part is 3 units. So that means 3 units. What I have this triangle, 90 degrees, 15 and 8. Now, this is another special triangle, 8K, 15K, 17K. But to be sure, I am pretty sure right now, but let me check it. 8 squared is 64, or let us do it, 8 squared plus 15 squared is 225, but to be sure, let's see. And then this result will be square roots, as you see, it's 17. And then question cosine of C. So C is here. What is cosine? Adjacent divided by hypotenuse. So adjacent is 15, hypotenuse is 17. So result is 15 over 17, which is part D. I am passing, okay? Whenever you have question, tell me. Yeah, there is a good question here. At the beginning, it seems a little bit difficult, this question, but let us see. Before reading the question, dear students, what am I going to do? Since this is the center, since this is an inscribed angle that sees the center, there is one rule that it is 90 degrees. I know this. Let me remind. If this is center, okay, that means diameter is here, there. If you have an angle which sees the diameter, this is 90 degrees, or an angle, for example, let's say like this is now 90 degrees, or like this is now 90 degrees. So inscribed angle who's seeing the diameter, it is always 90 degrees. Okay, after that, it says that diameter of the circle, it's okay. AC is 1. This is now AC. Good. It means that half, 0 0.5, 0 0.5, but I can't use the 0 0.5 anywhere. I have to put extra line segments, but I want to continue right now. Which of the following gives the area of a triangle ABC? Good. What is the area? Area means base time altitude over 2. So since this is 90 degrees, I may even say this is base, and this is now altitude. Okay, base, altitude over 2. Or you can say BC is base, AB is altitude. Good. When I check the alternatives, the things are in terms of theta, sine, cosine, tangent, blah, blah, blah. So, how can I express BC and AB in terms of theta? So when I look at here, if I think that sine of theta, what is sine of theta? It is opposite of theta, which is length AB, divided by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is 1. So it's clear that length of AB is sine of theta. Excellent. This is finished. Now, if I think the cosine of theta, it is adjacent, which is BC, divided by hypotenuse, which is 1. So it comes out here, BC is cosine of theta. Now, what is the area? Altitude times base over 2. So altitude and base we have AB times BC and half. It will be sine of theta times cosine of theta divided by 2, which is answer is D. Okay, whenever you have questions, just tell me. Now, question number 12, if till here there is no problem. Given that sine of theta minus cosine of theta is equal to 0. Oh my God. What does it mean, sine of theta minus cosine of theta is equal to 0? It means that sine of theta is equal to cosine of theta. And first of all, which angles you know that its sine is equal to cosine? Isn't it 45 degrees? Sine of 45, it's equal to cosine of 45. Or isn't it sine of 30 is equal cosine of 60? But since it says theta and theta, it means that it must be same. So I can just say it is 45 degrees. And when I look at the question, given that this, where the theta is radial measure of angle, which of the following could be true? So theta is between 0 and pi over 2, pi over 2 and pi and 3 pi over 2. And I want to tell you also something nice. When you take the quadrants, first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant, I want to ask you something. If sine is equal to cosine, you know that in the first quadrant, everything is positive. Here, sine is negative. Sorry, sine is positive, cosine is negative. So something positive, could it be negative? No, I mean angle cannot be between pi over 2 and pi. Since this is in the second quadrant, one of them positive, one of them negative. So 2, it's not answered. 2, it's not answered. So we eliminated. So it's clear that the answer is A or C. The difference between A or C is 1 and 1. So just the third one. Let me check the third one. Third one says that pi and 3 pi over 2. It is here. Pi and 3 pi over 2. But here, what can I say? Yes, this is now, tell me, negative. This is now also negative. It is possible. But do you know any angle that its sine is equal to its cosine? Let's have a think together. Can it be anything here? What do you think? 225, for example. What is sine of 225? Can I say that this is sine of 180 plus 45? Yes or no? Is it possible to write 225? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
And then since I am using the 180, I am not changing the function. It is being 45. And then since this is original one in the third quadrant, sine is here negative, so I have to put negative. So this is being now negative root 2 over 2. I mean sine of 225 negative root 2 over 2. What about cosine of 225? Let me check it. This is being tell me cosine of 180 plus 45. So this is being, since I used the cosine, it is still cosine 45. But cosine is in the third quadrant, it's negative. For that reason, it's minus. So I know that cosine 45 is root 2 over 2. That means this is equal to this one. It means that even the third one is correct. So if third one is correct, one is automatically is correct since we have just two alternatives, or we can easily say that sine of 45 is equal to cosine of 45. It is in the first quadrant. In the first quadrant, everything is positive. So it seems that the result is C. Yeah, Usama, what's your question? Tell me.
How did you know that pi over 2 is which quadrant, or 3 pi over 2 in which quadrant?
How I know that? What do you think? How could it be? I mean, from the beginning, let me explain. From the beginning. What was your question, Usama? One more time.
How did you know that, for example, pi over 2 is in which quadrant and 3 pi over 2 is in which quadrant?
But we should memorize this. I understand. Okay, sorry. I thought you were asking something as I was looking at my phone. Okay, let me tell you. We have to memorize this, Usame. This is a unit circle. Okay, this is now 0 degrees. This is now 90 degrees. This is now 180 degrees. This is now 270 degrees. When I turn, it's coming also 360 degrees. As a radian, this is pi over 2. As a radian, this is pi. As a radian, this is 3 pi over 2. As a radian, this is 2 pi. So I said that sine of theta is minus cosine of theta is equal to 0 means sine of theta is equal to cosine of theta. So first of all, if sine is positive, cosine positive. If sine is negative, cosine negative. So where is this? Where could it be? I mean, both sine and cosine positive or both sine and cosine negative. So you know that in the first quadrant, which is between 0 and pi over 2, sine is here positive, cosine is here positive. And then here, sine is here negative, cosine is here negative. Where? In the third quadrant. Just I am wondering that, is there any angle whose sine is equal to its cosine? We should know that this is 45 degrees. It's a famous angle. There is, so which is here. And then you may even guess like that. If this is 45, when you go, this will go to vertex angle 45. How can you express this angle? It is 225. So sine of 225 is equal to cosine of 225. This is, by the way, a little bit advanced level, like a subject test. Okay, you may think. Now, I mean, in normal essay, I don't think so they will ask. But if they ask, I mean, we learn. Okay, do you have any question? It is clear for you? Answer of your question, it's okay?
Yes, sir, it's clear. Thank you.